How's it going, everybody? I am Dalton at Arrowhead Tech, and welcome to another guide/talk. Today we're going to be talking about the uncomplicated firewall within a Linux operating system. You'll find this firewall in any Linux-based operating system, including like Ubuntu or Debian, maybe even CentOS, or just Linux in general. Normally comes with it, and is named uncomplicated for a good reason. So let's dive right into it, shall we? So in order to control this, I'm going to do it in two different ways. Number one, we're going to use the terminal here. So you know the regular commands, which they're pretty simple. And what I'm on right now is my test server, and it is a virtual machine. So if we break something, no harm, no foul. So what is a firewall? A firewall is just simply a security measure within the operating system that allows or blocks certain connections based on either where they're from or what port they're trying to come in, or automatically whether they're risky or not. And they obey rules, and that's how they tell whether something is risky or not. It obeys certain rules. So let's jump into this. So through the command line, drag this to where you can see, let's enlarge it. All we gotta do is go sudo UFW, that stands for Uncomplicated Firewall. Type in the password. And of course, you can't just type in that, it's not enough arguments. It's a good learning example. So, let's learn what arguments we can do, huh? Let's try -help. Invalid syntax, but it still got where I wanted to. So, anyway, these are all the commands you can do. You can turn it on and off with enable, disable. You can set it to a default policy. You can change all that stuff. You can add allow rules. You can reject rules, limit rules. You can pretty much do all you can within these elements with UFW. And to command it is really easy. Just type in superuser_do, which is what sudo stands for, UFW, and we're going to try and allow traffic into somewhere. So let's go allow. We need to specify the port. Let's try port 50, TCP, which is just a method of transmission through Internet Protocol. So what this should do, it'll tell UFW to allow traffic in and out of port 50 with that method. And it'll add it with both IPv4 addresses and IPv6 addresses automatically. And if you don't know what that is, it's just a version of your IP address. And an IP address is literally just the location of you on the internet. It's no different from your mailing address to the logic of it. It's your internet version of your address, so to speak. So let's do this. And rule added. Awesome. It has now added both the rules. As you can see, it has both IPv4 and 6. And let's do sudo UFW status. And we'll see all of the ports we have. And let's find our 50 rule. Should be here somewhere. There it is. Here's number 1. And there's number 2. You now know how to add a rule, at least for the ports. And we're just covering the basics in this tutorial. And we'll probably get into adding specific either network interfaces or devices, or blocking and allowing only certain IP addresses. We'll get into that in a later tutorial. This is just the basics of how to control it. So we'll go into the next one. What about deleting a rule? Actually, no, before deleting a rule, Actually, yes, we'll delete a rule. So we go back to our allow here. There's two different ways you can do this. I prefer this way. And let me check to see if I think there's two ways. So allow, let's go delete. So I believe if you specify what the rule is and hit delete, that means it should delete that rule. So there's only one way to do this, I guess, or one of the ways, which is perfectly fine. We all make mistakes. There's another way to do status. It's called sudo ufw status numbered. And what this will do, it will assign a number to all those rules up there. Ta-da! As you can see, there's numbers on all these rules. Now we can hunt for our 50 rules there. We can go sudo ufw delete. The first one looks like it's 18. It'll ask us, do we wish to proceed? Y for yes. Rule deleted. And if we do status numbered again, you'll notice that number 18 is no longer 50. Instead, it is 443. Now let's delete the IPv6 rule. Let's go back to delete the rule number 35. Oh, we want to drop it? Yes, we do. We want to delete. And we're done. And that's allowing in and out and practically stuff like that. But what about just adding a deny rule or a reject rule? Simple enough. Sudo ufw. We'll try reject 50 TCP. Rule added. Status numbered. Here they are, reject in, right there. And if we delete rules number 18 and 36 again, which would actually be 35 next time. So if we sudo ufw delete, and actually, I believe you can even change the rule. I don't know if you can actually change the rule, but you can add a rule that kind of flip-flops it around. But we're going to delete it. Sudo ufw delete. It'll be number 18. Yes. Awesome. We'll leave the IPv6 one there for now. And you can even tell it to deny the stuff. Let's say you want sudo ufw deny port 50 TCP. So my theory was correct. You can update your rules. And to prove that, status numbered, now the 50 TCP one has changed from reject in to deny in. The plot thickens. Now let's see if we try this again. Let's go. Let's say we decide we're going to let people in. Sudo ufw allow 50 TCP. Status numbered. Look at that. And if you just decided screw the firewall, I'm just going to rely on my other networking stuff to block people from coming in only on certain, except for certain ports. Sudo ufw disable. Firewall stopped and is not going to start up again, or whenever you restart the system, and it will say inactive. And it will not display what rules you have because it's turned off. Then you go, there is some security stuff going on. I might want some extra protection. Sudo ufw enable. to status numbered, and look, there's all your rules back, and you can see that your status has changed to active. And that's pretty much the basics on how to use it in the command line. We'll go ahead and clean up our mess here. Actually, I won't even worry about that. But what about the GUI here? Your desktop. Well, depending on your desktop environment, if you're in Linux, you might have this applet and you might not. You might have to get it. But I believe it's here. Here it is. Gotta type in your password. And here you are. And what do you know? You can see all of our rules, including the 50 rule. If those scroll bars goes away, you can see at the very bottom of the thing. This is much easier to do things. Let's find our 50 right here. It should be 18. Here we go. Let's say we change it up. Or we can't edit it in this, unfortunately, but we can still add one. You can even change the firewall profile. Let's say we add a rule. There's pre-configured ones, there's simple, which means you can even give it a name. There's your policies. You can tell it to allow, deny, reject, or even limit. Direction in and out. You can give it your protocol, port, or service. So let's do 55. So it's going to, and then we can just, no. This is a test. Add. Rules added. Did you just see it? Here it is, rule 19 right there. Allow in anywhere. And if we tell it to get rid of it, that rule was deleted. As you can see now, we can delete our 50 rules from here. You can just delete. And if you hit Control, do multiple ones at the same time. Look at that. The GUI one is really easy to control. I actually prefer it a lot, but the command line one, you can always edit the rules. Through this, you normally can't. Turn it on and off. Here's your switch. Turn it on again, it configures, and it's on. It is that easy. But that's all we got for the firewall so far. That was the Uncomplicated Firewall in Linux. I hope you guys enjoyed this and learned a lot. Hopefully I didn't lose you. As always, I will see you the next time. Be safe and God